Hey guys, today we're going to paint a 1.5 square bill. I need something. The water's warming up. The lily pads are just starting to come up. We're starting to see some of those on the surface. And I need something I can run right along the edge of that that'll run kind of shallow. The 1.5 is going to run about 2-3 feet deep, which should be just about right. So let's head over to the bench and get this painted up. All right, we are going to do a 1.5 square bill. I wanted to do one in kind of this shad sort of color because the lake that I usually fish at has a lot of shad in it. We're starting to see the lily pads come up on the edges, and a lot of times you can take a shallow running crankbait like a 1.5, run it right along the edge of those lily pads, and pick up some fish. So I thought, let's do one in kind of a shad color, basic shad color, just because, well, like I said, we got a lot of shad. So let's start out, let's make it white to begin with. Alright, there we go. Got our base coat on. Let me clean up, and we'll start throwing on some colors. Next thing we're going to do, it's actually still going to be white, but we're going to go with a pearlized white. I like the little luster you get from the pearlized colors. How much that'll show up for you on the camera, I'm not real sure. But for me, that pearlized really looks good when it's all said and done. Alright, there we go. Pearlized all over. Let me clean this up. I got one little thing I want to do here. Now, I know a lot of shad, you can have your sexy shad with the light blue or grays or whatever. A lot of shads don't necessarily have a little red up underneath, but you know what? I'm painting my own, so I can do it whichever way I want to do it. So I'm going to take a little Createx transparent red, and I'm going to go with just a little bit up in front of the hook set, and I don't want very much, so I'm going to spray most of it on the tape here instead of the lure. And that's it. That's all I want. Just a little bit up underneath there. Now I'm going to get the heat gun, and I want to dry this really good because we're going to kind of put a wrap to this. Alright, got to dry it off. I said we're kind of going to put a wrap because a lot of times we put a base coat, we put a wrap, we spray over it, and then we pull it off. In this case, all I'm really going to care about is the top on this one. I'm going to get some scale effect. I'm going to use this. This is what they call crinoline, which you can find in the fabric store. Walmart will carry that. But there are so many other things you can use besides this. Come spring, I was going to plant a garden. I bought some onion sets, and they came in a bag that looked like this. So I cut some of that up, and we could even use something like this. There are all kinds of different things you can use to make a scale pattern. Now, one thing I do, and take note in the crinoline, you can see it's got the oval holes, but they're not round, they're oval. They kind of run this way. Let me get the crinoline. It's the same way. The holes kind of run crossways, so what I do, if it's an oval hole, I like to make them run lengthways with the lure. So when you're putting that on, kind of take a look at those. I think it looks a little better when the holes are sideways with the lure instead of up and down. All right? Of course, that's my opinion. Somebody else might say, I just soon have them go the other way. And if that's the case, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Yep, got that little bent over. Hang on, I didn't get that straight. Thought I had that straight when I pulled that down. Let's start all over again with that. Now there we go, I got it now. That's still better. Just shows I have a hard time talking and doing something at the same time. Pull that down, there we go, get that good and tight. There we go. Alright, got that on top. And we're just going to go about halfway down on the side for the pattern here. Hang that up real quick. We are going to use Createx Pearlized Silver. Going to go with Pearl Silver. And I'm not sure what shad that's supposed to be. Gizzard shad? I don't know. It's the color I wanted to use. So anyway, that's what we're doing here. We go right down the back. And I'm not trying to totally even really cover that white. I just want to darken the back up. That's kind of why I picked the silver, because it's not going to make it real dark. And you can just keep putting it on until you get the level of darkness you want. If you want to stop a little earlier, you can. If you're looking for it to go, you'll just have to put a little more on. But that way you can judge how dark you really want to make this. There we go. Alright, I'm going to put a little up here around the face, a little extra. And that should have us. Alright, let me dry this real quick. And then we'll take the wrap off and see what we got. Alright, let's pull that wrap and see if we can see something here, huh? Oops, I guess I'm going to have to take my clip off there. Let me get, there we go. Alright. Alright, just the real light gray. How much that'll show up for you guys right now, I don't know. But I'll tell you what, let me get the eyes and the top coat. I got the feeling that's going to show up a lot better once we get the top coat on it. Alright, I got the eyes in, but I'm starting to be a little concerned if that silver is going to be dark enough. So, decided we're going to do something here. Let's get our top coat ready. As always, I'm using the Bob Smith Industries 30-minute slow cure epoxy, and you won't get 30 minutes to do it. So as usual, I don't get into all the fancy measuring to make sure it's by volume or by weight or any of that. I squirt to what looks to me like equal amounts on a plate, take an ice cream deal and stick and stir it up. Alright, so got the first part. Now we're going to take it real quick, and we're only going to work on the belly. Alright, so we're going to come up about to the lateral line on the side of the lure. That's as far as I'm coming up. And we'll just work the belly of it. Make sure we got that really good. Alright, there we go. Got the belly. I'm halfway up the side on the lateral line. Got that much done. Alright, now, take a second. We're going to dig out some silver glitter. And we're just going to put a little of that glitter in with our top coat. That's messy stuff, I'll tell you what. Stir that around just a little bit. And now we're going to do the top side, and we use the glitter on the top. So I didn't want any glitter on the bottom. I want that belly to stay white just the way I had planned it. But to try to darken up the top a little bit, we'll put some glitter in. See if that'll help darken it up and add just a little bit of pizzazz to the lure. Pizzazz, is that a word? I guess. Add a little bit of something to the lure at the same time. All right, that'll have us. Get up that nose, make sure you got that. There we go. All right, now the white with no glitter. Got some glitter on the top. Let me get a wire hook here real quick. Reach across there. Gonna put a wire hook in there. We'll hang her up. We'll let her dry. Well, there you go, guys. And it worked exactly as it was supposed to. Right up to the point where I lost it to a brush pile. But that's the way it goes sometimes. Hey, thanks for sticking with me. Subscribe to the channel if you would. Hope to see you again real soon.